else.
So last session, you made your way up Chillwind Pass. That's more or less what we accomplished. You're arriving at Chillwind Camp at the end of the session.
The end of the session. Good end
but
of the session.
I have to confess,
It's a cliffhanger,
I made a whoopsie. So it's a good thing that it did end when it did. Because it's not actually the Silverhand Paladins in Chillwind Camp. It is in fact the Argent Dawn Paladins. A completely
are they bad? Maybe we don't want to say hi to them. What are they like?
Different order of Paladins.
Are they still good boys?
Yeah, no, they're basically the same, but completely different.
Isn't... Wait, aren't they joining,
Aren't
they joining into the Silver Covenant or something?
Yeah, I think so. I think, like, because you get the Silver Hand when you're the Paladin, when you do the Holy Paladin artifact quest, and, like, the fucking bunch of Argent Dawn people definitely hang around the Order Hall, so...
Yeah.
To read about them, the Argent Dawn is a lawful good organization focused on protecting Azeroth from agencies that seek to destroy it, such as the Vermin Legion and the Scourge. Base camps of the Argent Dawn can be found in the eastern and western Plaguelands, as well as in Tirisfal Glades. Reputation of the Argent Dawn is said can be used to purchase various profession recipes and miscellaneous consumables in the past to mitigate the cost of attunement and Aximus. Okay, well that's a while ago. Worth noting, it says they have a base camp in the Tirisfal Glades. Yes, but they are a neutral Paladin faction, not solely Alliance, and their base in the Tirisfal Glades is, I believe, like Horde Paladins, not Alliance ones.
Is that the Crusader Outpost or something, or is
yeah, there's one somewhere. I'm not actually certain where the Tirisfal Glades one is, but I know there isn't like any Alliance stronghold in there. But yeah, their affiliation is independent but favors Alliance. Their races are all races, mostly humans and dwarves, but they do have Horde members and they do operate in Horde territory. And
so it probably shouldn't be like, hey guys, we're going to spy on the Horde.
Right.
Then maybe
but if we were there, we wouldn't be like turned over to the Horde to die.
No, but they might be a bit questioning what we're doing here.
Right.
So is it worth actually going in?
I was going to say they even have a Night Elf, but he's dead.
Is there any Worgen?
In Black Fathom Deeps, a long time ago.
Any Worgen boys?
That's a long...
I don't think Worgens can be Paladins. I don't know if there's any Worgen Paladins at all.
Well, it says
sure
they said they emit members of any race class.
Sure, in the universe, there's such a thing as a Worgen Paladin.
I think just Worgens don't become Paladins. I mean, okay, I'm looking at the...
I tend to agree.
It's not an option it's not an option when you character creation.
Googling Worgen Paladin.
Worgen Paladin. There we go. Google.
It just sounds like a bad idea.
I mean, it can be priests.
Whatever.
Oh,
there's an orc whose name is Vither from Darnassus.
Yeah, I'm eating these. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. An orc Paladin in Darnassus.
He's a lieutenant even.
Lieutenant of the Argent Dawn, yeah. Garrosh, who is at the Bulwark. He's an Argent officer at the Bulwark in Tirisfal Glades. Okay, there you go. So the Bulwark has a...
Wait,
well, that makes sense, actually.
The Bulwark?
It's called Garrosh?
The Bulwark, it's...
But the Bulwark...
that is like the big...
Garrosh.
Yeah, the Bulwark's the thing the Horde are in charge of, right?
Yes, the Bulwark is like their big fortification between Tirisfal Glades and the Plaguelands. So it makes sense that the Horde's like arm of the Argent Crusade.
But the Horde aren't lawful good. Why are the Argent people members?
The Horde can be lawful good.
They're not the evil. Boo, hiss. Boo.
Of course.
You're busy thinking like Warcraft 2.
I mean, it's funny, right?
Boo.
Like,
Boo.
Back when it was easy to understand the lore.
Blizzard makes a lot of effort to, in their lore, make the whole Alliance vs Horde thing not as black and white as a good versus evil, but I feel like they kind of undermine their own efforts slightly, because every time they're trying they're trying to make it not black and white, they have Alliance people doing bad things or Horde people doing good things. Yeah. And it's kind of like, well, aren't you just confirming that the default state of being would be Alliance good, Horde bad? I don't know. They kind of just the fact that those are what they have. That's what they have to do to try and make their point. Is like, well, you just be confirming there's an underlying status quo there that you're trying to shock.
Yeah.
But it is not that simple. Like
even then, the Alliance has never done anything. Not like genocide.
They never dropped a bomb on anywhere. Although Jaina almost wiped Orgrimmar off the map at the soon.
Yeah, but she got kicked out of Dalaran.
She didn't get kicked out, and she got stopped.
And technically,
Okay,
Arthas was
yeah.
still a member of the
Alliance when he
Yeah.
I feel like in Azrael in the
we call
Warcraft
murder
universe, anyone who's corrupted is
That's
you
true.
can't count them because like half the
Well,
population.
you can't count Jaina at all then, because we all know she's a Dreadlord.
Of course,
So-
and also like Jane is probably like one of the most chaotic, if not evil, members of the Alliance. And like
True.
Bane, like, I
Jesus.
think Bane Bloodhoof is a more lawful good character than Jaina Proudmoore by a long way.
But Jaina at the time of Warcraft 3 was one of the most like
That's
optimistic
true.
Alliance members.
That's true.
Having conversations with Thrall and all that. Okay, Ian, we're done.
He's
It's a
dying.
Warcraft campaign. He's gonna have to fucking put up with talking about Warcraft.
We never talk about a normal 5e camp, like insta camp. We never like kill all the various gods in D&D. We never do that.
Yeah.
That's because
No,
You're never
I
gonna
am
be
die all the time,
no, you
or Lemonade, as she's been occasionally called.
good old lemonade.
Lemonade.
But do we want to go to Chillwind Camp anymore?
Yeah?
He
But are
says
they gonna
as
be
walk
like-
into Chillwind Camp?
Are they gonna be like, hey, what are you guys doing here?
Chillwind Camp is Alliance only. Like even
Alliance
if they were
only,
Horde
okay.
members of, even if they were like Horde members of the Argent Crusade, they would not be like welcome in Chillwind Camp. I mean, like,
Okay,
they
cool.
wouldn't be killed, but they'd probably be turned away.
Like
We're not gonna.
reasons to
Like,
go.
reverse goes for the Bulwark. Like,
But like, there's no reason for us to be up here, is there really?
Fishing expedition.
We could be going to try to see the Ufa's tomb.
Where, from here,
Yeah.
where is, like, the Night Elf homeland?
okay, hang on. We're gonna need a bigger map.
Okay. Hey, I've heard of Bilgewaterport.
Have you?
I have.
Of all the places to have heard of.
Right?
And did you hear of
I don't know why I've heard of that, but I've definitely heard of it.
It's on Kazan.
Yeah.
Alright, let's
not
go.
even
Alright,
in the
just
game.
walk into Chillwind Camp.
Yeah, it is. I think like in the Goblin starting zone.
Like
We
at the
walk
very
into
start.
Chillwind
Yeah,
Camp.
that really like a level 5 Goblin.
We walk into Chillwind Camp.
Okay, wait. So reasons. Well, I
I'm gonna go
guess.
see Ufa's tomb.
Sure.
If they ask us and we're not allowed, and like obviously we can't be, if we're like, our business is our own, and they're like, no, it's not. They're like, Ufa, he's there. Wait, Chris, is Ufa tomb, Chris? There's not people around. It's like dangerous with this near the fucking what's it called, the Sorrow Hill. But wait, but Sorrow Hill's currently like got a lot of bad people at it, right? I think we went through that. Yeah.
Yes. Sorrow Hill is a cemetery, but in the game you run through to get to Uther's tomb. Yeah, Uther's tomb is in the middle of like a cemetery that's full of
I think
undead.
it's not on the map. You sure it's in the middle of the cemetery?
Yeah.
And is it common knowledge, or do we know that it's like in dangerous area?
Yeah, everyone would know that Uther's tomb. I mean, like the tomb itself is like hallowed ground. The undead can't go near it, but it's like everyone knows. I mean, it's in the middle of the fucking Plague Lands. It's common knowledge, like
That's not
to any extent. But it's in the Plague Lands. It's common knowledge to any extent that it's a dangerous place to visit. I mean, like not like you're
But do people go
guaranteed
visit
to
it?
die here, but like you got to be.
Do people go visit it?
Yes, but like people who
Okay,
are
perfect,
people who are well
perfect.
prepared and
Like us. Excellent.
exactly.
Okay, well,
You see
if our plan,
You see these two silvered rapiers?
If you were like a young guy with a wheelbarrow, like Tom, for example, is
I'm
like
gonna go
walking
dig
like,
up Ufa.
this too. Yeah, it's like,
but if
No
we're gonna
doubt.
go in and say that our plan is to go to see Uther's tomb, maybe our cover story should be that Shallan is like the one who wants to go, and we're like her bodyguards or something.
Bodyguard. Yeah.
Because I'm the
Okay.
historian.
So we should do that. Let her do the talking then.
Yeah, okay.
tell them you're gonna resurrect Uther. See how that goes down.
Really good
I like
I feel like his soul's kind of stuck in a sword or something.
Yeah, somewhere.
I would like me is.
Where
Uther's
is
a
his
lad.
tomb, by the way?
North pretty
On
close.
the campaign map here.
Oh, okay.
Very close.
Not far away.
No. Like that's what we got to be a bit careful of.
Okay,
But I kind of want to go there.
so you enter Chillwind Camp. The camp is quite militaristically laid out. It's sort of rows of tents on either side of a central avenue with like a large command tent at the far end. There's like, a stables has been set up with, fences hammered into the ground and like a fairly sturdy gates on it. And there's, like a quartermaster with a sort of pavilion. And there's people walking around. Nobody's sort of, everyone's wearing armor because they're paladins. Paladins don't take their armor off. But
They're, like,
you
asleep in
know,
it.
like their weapons are, you know, sheathed and their helmets are off, and you know the atmosphere is everyone is alert, but nobody is tense. I think would be like a fair way of describing it. Like it's not relaxed, but it's not uptight either.
Like you are.
Except that they're paladins, so you know,
Oh,
thick
uptight as
ass.
fuck. Uptight as fuck.
Right. Mostly dwarves and humans. That would just say you just see dwarves and humans around for now.
Sure.
Are you guys heading anywhere in particular, or just wandering through the camp? You can go talk to anyone.
It's
Like,
like all
is there,
tents,
like-
or also.
Is there any?
Yeah, no, it's only tents.
Is there any
Like, I mean,
spare tents for
the
visitors?
command tent is like quite well constructed, and you know, with posts nailed down, like, and reinforcing strings and stuff, and like 16 different positions, and it's this huge pavilion thing. But no, there's no constructed buildings unless you count the like, I guess, like a shed attached to the
Ooh,
paddock where the horses are kept.
nice. How come they get the one building? The horses, no fair. Okay. I guess. What time of day is it, Chris?
I honestly can't
I
recall,
think it was
so we'll
night
just say
time.
like we'll just say it's getting to the evening. Okay, sure. Why not?
Like, are the
Maybe.
tents like arranged in a sort of order? Like, are there sleeping tents and like, you know, day-to-day like tents, or like merch? Like, you know, I have no idea how big this thing is.
It's like a range around Central Avenue with like 15 tents ish on either side, maybe like 15 on one side, 14 on the other side, and then like off to one side is like, you know, the kind of quartermaster's I keep thinking, I think it was the word pavilion, but that's not the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for the word gazebo. There we go. He has a gazebo.
Be fancy.
Like you do.
No one wants to attack the gazebo. And yeah, and then there's
Not
like
immediately.
the big command tent at the far end, and then like off to the left is where the horses are being kept.
So I guess, can I roll an insight check against the gazebo?
Yes, you can roll an insight check on the gazebo.
Let's
We
wait for.
lose Ian's cam.
Yeah, he got interrupted.
No, I'm here. My sister's getting something out of my room.
It's okay. Hi, Ian, sister.
Yeah, they can't hear your main headphones, Chris.
You can
Chris was
translate.
shouting hello, and I'm like, you don't have to come say hi. They can hear you.
She can't hear me. Come on now.
They're up there, you see? I mean, I'm not going. Oh, why is my camera off? It's there. It's loading. There it is.
confusing.
See there. It's there. See there.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
All right. Anyway, you can continue.
Can we?
Huh?
Thank you.
Yeah, continue. You were like, oh, you're not
Insight check, Josh. Or...
Yeah. Let's do this. Where is my character sheet? Insight 7. Oh yeah. 10.
You determined the gazebo to be upstanding and of good character.
Why are we inciting the gazebo? I missed something, I think.
Well, he's like, does anyone attack the gazebo? I'm like,
No,
nah. I'm
okay.
like, but wait, can
Maybe
I
he
roll an
wants to attack
insight
us,
check
yeah.
just to make sure? You know,
Yeah.
we're safe.
Gotta assess the
But
situation.
so those like those tents are set up in like an avenue, Chris. Are they like for sleeping? Or for, like...
They're all like 2-man sleeping tents.
Okay. Oh, we don't have any tents. I understand.
I have a tent. Which
So do I.
No one has a tent.
so
Mr. Cheesemonger doesn't, but I have a tent.
I suggest that we should get to the north side of camp and like look for a free spot where we can like
Yeah.
set up our tents and shit.
That's something good idea, Talia.
Thank you.
Great idea.
Well, let's go.
Is there a free spot, Chris, in the north of the town?
Okay, so let me just sketch camp.
Oh,
real
I'll
quick
do
for
it
you.
for you.
Oh, thanks.
I can do it on this map actually.
You could.
Chris, I feel like there was a high enough likelihood that we would enter the camp that you could have done this before.
Yeah, but I didn't
Yeah,
think there was
Chris.
going to be like this whole need to fucking understand the layout of the camp more than I'd
I don't
already
think
tried.
We said we want to go to the north and set up a tent.
Yeah, but that's
shouldn't
like
we?
behind the command tent.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have to be. You just set it up a little bit outside of the camp as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so those extend down. further off the
for
bottom.
forever.
Just imagine, like, there's like 15 or so on that side.
They just switched around.
Yeah, because
Why are there two suns? Is this Tatooine?
Some of them are bathed in sunlight, some of them are bathed in moonlight.
Or the holy
Can I be on
lights.
the side? Wait,
These are holy tent shorts.
I
There's
am
a lot of light to go around.
exclusively hanging out on the side with moonlight.
Of course you are. It's only natural. Because fancy
Fat tent.
That is a thick tent.
So that's the basic layout of the camp.
Yeah, looking at this, it doesn't make much sense to go north side, unless they think we're gonna like attack their captain in the night or something. Let's maybe go a little bit.
In the process of walking south or north, like up through the middle.
What if we go like a little bit off the side, like here maybe something? Really matter, but
Okay. So you guys are just gonna go start setting up tents over here?
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Unless somebody stops.
I mean, I don't have a tent, so it's like.
Maybe you can buy one.
The other two, I
It's
guess,
like a general
that
store, I
tents.
assume. Like
I think I would need a tent. It's like Walden fur keeps you pretty warm, right? Like, could I sleep outside in cold weather?
Yeah,
quite
very,
easily?
very easily.
But the question is, do you normally sleep in Worgen form?
I mean, I will if it gets cold. But that's what I mean. Like, if it's cold
Yeah.
enough to need a tent, I can just be in Walden form. I'd rather not have to carry a tent around all day, And I know we're in like an imaginary game where if I carry a tent around, it doesn't actually mean anything. But in real life, I wouldn't want to do it. So I don't think my character does either. It sounds annoying.
stick to your convictions.
Exactly. No tent. I'll just share it.
And then when it's windy, snowy, and
I'll be in
rainy,
Walden form. Dumber, outside.
still a wet dog is still a wet dog.
Yeah, fine. I'll just share Talia's tent if I have to.
Hey,
Right,
that's
Talia.
not your decision to make.
Can I share my tent, please? Your tent, please. It's fine, because really, there's always gonna be
That's a
one
very
person on-
forward question. You
there's
don't
always-
ask that kind of
There's
thing.
always
of the
going to be
night
one
elf.
person on watch. There's always going to be a tent that does, we only actually need 2 people sleep at once, so it's like, why have 3 tents? It's the waste.
By the way, this is 100% out of game, so you can't say anything. But I have this wet dog joke going through my head about not
It's absolutely out of game, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. 100% out of game. Not my character.
I think about this. I had a joke about the bitch night elf. She's
Yeah, exactly. Totally okay. We get it.
Out of game.
Shalon's trying. Josh, not so much.
Keep
him coming, Josh. I enjoyed
Any
it.
sort of relationship between those 2 people. What's Chris doing now?
One is chaotic
just waiting for
evil.
you guys
One
to-
is mostly.
Think I
Oh,
should,
okay, so I've been waiting for you. I've just been like talking
waiting for
because
you.
I didn't know.
I don't know.
You're good to go.
I thought we were deciding how the tent was being set up. And
No,
Uh-huh.
we decided, didn't we? We
Okay.
wanted down to one.
Okay, sure. Okay,
Over
so you
here.
guys, you guys begin setting up Talia's tent. Is the canon that we've been using this tent all the time, or is this the first time Talia's getting the tent out?
Shalon also is getting
I do
I
like
have a
every
tent,
night.
and I've been
Oh,
using
yeah,
mine as well.
multiple tents? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
2 tents. I mean, I haven't used. I don't know. Is there like a place to buy supplies?
It's my stupidest fucking joke.
What?
It's not even funny, but the punchline
Okay.
is like a pun based on like 2 tents and being like 2 tents. Like, it's really.
Yeah, I get.
I
okay.
think it's one of the / silly jokes in WoW. It's like one of the.
No, it's true.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So as you guys are setting up the tent, a couple of paladins make their way over towards you, just kind of see what's going on. One of them is a blonde-haired human woman with a
Jihad.
heavy warhammer and a shield in full plate, and the other towering over her but walking behind her is a male Draenei with a large warhammer across his back. Both of them are in silvery full plate armor and wearing tabards of the Ardent Crusade, which are pale white trimmed with black, and in the center of the tabard with kind of in the trim style decorations around it is a sort of pale yellow sun. And they kind of approach to about 10 feet away and then kind of stand there watching for a minute, or not a minute, but like a few seconds to see if their presence is acknowledged.
But I'd say a minute's a bit like fucking weird.
Well, I mean, almost a minute would be weird, but it would be also weird if you let them stand there for a minute without saying anything to them. So.
Yeah, if Shallan doesn't do anything immediately, I like look at her and do like a head shake towards him,
Like, yeah. I mean, I'll do a very curt, but or more courteous nod, like in their direction.
Greetings, travelers.
Well met.
Well met indeed.
Zug. Wait, wrong. Shit.
Can we help you at all?
Yes, sorry, our party is heading on a journey. Historian, you've seen, we're going to Uther's tomb. We were hoping we could spend the night in the safety of the camp.
Give me a persuasion check. Oh no, deception, because you are lying.
Kind of true. We're going to Uther's camp.
It's the same check for me, dude. It doesn't matter.
Okay, you know what? Go for it.
It's both a flat. Can I get assistance from them?
You can have advantage just because it's like it's the most believable thing to be telling someone. It's like what they'd hear most.
12.
Yeah, I mean, one of them was a 1, so good thing we had advantage.
She nods as if, taking that in her stride as if all to be expected. She says, yes, of course, you're welcome to share the comfort of our camp and fires, which they should have some of, I suppose. Put some campfires on this map.
Let us build some now.
Yeah, everyone rushes to quickly build campfires.
Or I was like, or did you just do this? And like suddenly campfires spring up everywhere.
Hang on, I got some of these.
The clap on, clap off campfires.
High-tech shit.
Oh shit. Those are big ass fires, bro.
Next to your tent.
Nice.
It's like a big,
they cook
general
fires,
cook
yeah.
fires.
Like communal, yeah.
Communal.
Does it look like they've recently burned a witch in them? Is the question.
Everything.
Exactly.
No.
There's a lot of witches.
There's no skeletal remains in any of them.
By the way, the light sources on this map are still confusing the hell out of me. So now we have light coming from sort of straight down this direction.
She glanced over her shoulder at the she glanced over her shoulder at the Draenei and kind of nods at him, and he just wordlessly turns around and walks back to whatever he was doing before.
Okay.
And she says, my name is... Damn, it doesn't give a first name for this character. My name is Argent Officer Pureheart.
Right. I'm like, nice to meet you.
And you too.
My name is Silas Compton.
You may refer to me as Shallan Stormlight. And again, I bow.
And so setting up the turns.
Companion Talia.
Oh, I turn around and say, Talia Brightgrove.
Welcome, the three of you. And what, may I ask, is your interest in visiting the tomb of Uther the Lightbringer?
I've just come across readings about it in my studies. As a bit of a historian, figured it is worth a trip and documenting the area surrounding the tomb.
Ah, a historian. You must be then very familiar with the history of the whole area.
I wish, but not quite. This is one that just obviously brought my attention the most. As I contemplate why this one more than the rest.
Uther, a pretty big deal.
He is, definitely.
I see. And your companions?
Protection.
Again, they're like more heavily armed. Well, I don't know if that's true. Actually,
Yeah, I kind of like tap the sword on my side.
I tap the 2 silvered rapiers on my side.
She kind of eyes you guys up and down. The silvered equipment and abundance thereof is definitely lending credit.
Yeah, that's what you want.
To the story that you guys have prepared yourselves to visit the tomb of Uther the Lightbringer. as well. You certainly seem well prepared enough, not like some we see come through here.
Did many make this trip?
A few, mostly foolhardy. We turn them back for the most part. It's a shame. It's a long way to have travelled, but it would be unwise to add further fuel to the fire of the Scourge.
Understandable.
Well, will you join us for some dinner? Share perhaps the tale of your travels?
Kind of turn to the party. He's like, of course. It'd
Yes.
be our pleasure.
Sounds nice.
I do speak up. Speaking of provisions, by the way, we should be well enough. But is there a merchant available, perhaps, where we could stop up our stock?
If you need supplies, talk to Quartermaster Lightspark over there, and she gestures towards this place here. The sort of lean-to. Well, it's not leaning against anything, but the sort of the not watering. It's like a bit of cover that's just sort of set up at an angle over a table to keep rain off wares. It's not quite a tent. It's like half a tent.
What was this woman's name again?
Argent Officer Pureheart.
I remember Pure Heart.
I say, Lightspark and Pureheart. I suppose you are in the right area.
Your parents
The
want to be
right
one of
profession.
paladins.
Yeah.
My parents were paladins. I assume it was the destiny they had in mind for me as well.
Of course, a noble destiny.
Okay, well, I look at the other two and start heading off toward the quartermaster.
Oh, are the tents all they put up?
Probably not, because we
Okay.
stopped to talk to them.
I'll stay.
Just gets up, walks away, and it just slowly.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming Silas has on control. He's capable.
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah,
We
yeah.
can say by this point the tents are put up, and
Oh, really? Okay.
like you were putting them up like a couple of minutes before they came over.
Yeah,
So.
okay. That's good.